Hi guys, Billy back, and this time we are going to be doing my figure of the year 2017. Been a while since I've done a video. Christmas and family stuff have been going on, so time has gotten away from me, and even though I've had some time off work, I haven't had the time needed to sit down and do this video. I've been so busy, it's not even funny. The fact that we even got that puppy is just, she demands a lot, and between all the other stuff and going in and out and letting her out every 5 seconds for a piss, I don't really get much time at the moment to do a lot of videos, so I'm just squeezing this in as quickly as I can to show you exactly all the figures I've got this year. Now, there was a video I uploaded already of my unboxing and sort of super fast review of the Ghostbusters. I absolutely love these figures. They're amazing. The accessories and everything. But I think in order to get the real bang for your buck, to get the real wow factor, you do have to get all 4 of them. Simply because they all have different accessories. Some come with the ghost traps. PKE meter is another one. I think, I'm not even sure what difference Peter Venkman gets. I don't even think it's much, but you know, you get sort of the goggles on Ray, and the whole thing is just, you need them all, you really do, as far as I'm concerned anyway. So I genuinely didn't want to just choose these guys and go, yeah, it was the Ghostbusters, they win, simply because you need to get all 4, and on their own individually I think there's enough flaws to say that none of them would win figure of the year on their own. Through various different slight inaccuracies in the head sculpt maybe, or the, you know, the sort of uniformity of the actual costumes, where there's not much differentiation between them all, and the you know, all the PK, all the proton packs being the same, etc, etc, etc. I don't want to go on too much about that, but I think in order to choose one, if you put a gun on my head and said this is the one figure out of all 4 that is the best, it's going to be Egon. He's the most accurate, he's closest to the movie representation, so yeah, I'm going to give it to Egon on the all 4. But as a whole pack, they are so good. You really do have to get all 4 in order to really appreciate this set. Okay, moving on, my newest addition just before Christmas. I didn't do an unboxing, I haven't done a review, to be honest. I haven't had the time. But there's so many of them out there at the moment, is the Arkham Knight Batman figure. It's so nice. This is a real height, like this will really challenge your space between shelving. I've got all my Batman stuff over there. It's all spread out at the moment because I've got to do some work on changing the monitor on my computer, because I've got a new PC and I've got the Oculus Rift and a brand new spanking PC which I've been playing on recently as well. That's probably why I haven't been doing many videos, hush hush hush, because I've been too busy getting into the virtual world and shooting the shit out of robots and stuff. But yeah, he challenges the height on these shelves quite a lot. I mean, he's almost taken up that whole height of the shelf. That's how big of a git he is. But he is a really nice looking figure, nice and great aesthetics. Great design, great paintwork, different, you know, different textures on the suit, all the way around the side. It's quite a stiff figure though, and that's where it falls down. Everyone said it already, I'm saying it again, articulation. This guy really does challenge you to try and find a pose to actually get him in that doesn't make him look like a statue. And it's very difficult to get him into much of a pose, but there's some really nice details in there, like the head there around the back. So yeah, I really like the Arkham Knight figure, but he's not going to win my personal figure of the year, the one that I own. I mean, I'm talking about all the stuff I've bought this year. So he's not going to win my figure of the year. I mean, if we went into like aesthetics and we really went into it about all the different figures that have come out this year, I don't own virtually half of them, so there's no point in me saying, oh yeah, this one is the best or that one's the best. If I haven't owned it, I haven't used it, felt it, you know, given it my all in terms of review, to be able to say this one is the best. I think a lot of people have said Jyn Erso is their figure of the year. The Hot Toys cast said that Jyn Erso was probably their most popular one out of all the ones they chose, so Jyn Erso, you know, practically won. D Knight has said Jyn Erso has won of his figure of the year, and I think 1/6 Society chose the Hulkbuster, but we'll get to that in a minute. and I can understand why. I saw the reviews on that figure and I don't blame them, to be honest. It looks amazing. Even I looked at it and went, ooh, and I don't, you know, I'm not even that fussed about the film, but even I was like, well, you know, that is actually tempting to buy. If we come down the back here, we can see we've got the AC Play Catwoman, and this is a really nice figure. It's got some flaws. I've already said the flaws, and I've got the Super Mad one coming as well. I managed to secure a Super Mad Toys figure from KG Hobby, who I emailed and said, like, I wasn't able to get on the list or anything, and they said, we've got one more. If you want it, just mention us in the video. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'll get that one and I'll compare her to him. This is a really nice figure, but it does have its flaws. There's some lacking of detail, and the stitching just doesn't get movie accurate enough. If it did, if they did the movie accurate stitching on the suit, I would consider this for figure of the year, believe it or not. But it isn't, so it falls down too far to get figure of the year. But I tell you what, it is a nice unlicensed figure, and if you get a chance, I would definitely snatch this one up. And we come over to Ripley. Ah, Ripley. No one's caused as much controversy as you. There's been seriously some people kicking off about, you know, sculpted hair to real hair to face accuracy to Jones the Cat. You have actually challenged people in ways they didn't realise, and I genuinely think this is a very nice figure. I already said in my review, it's a fantastic one to get. If you love the Alien franchise, it's a must. It's a definite must, and if you have a chance to pick her up, I would, if you can afford it. But obviously she does have minor flaws. Again, like I've said, Jones the Cat, and some people were up in arms about the head sculpt. I've done an accuracy test as best I could, and I think, yeah, she's very accurate. So I am very tempted to give her my figure of the year. But then we come over to this Jerome from Gotham TV series figure, which I bought. Trying to get it so that you can see, but the light is really glaring on the skin and reflecting off. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see this properly or not. But he is quite a nice figure. Some really nice stitching in the clothing. Really nice, accurate colours. And he even has these real sort of plasticky leather boots, which is a really nice sort of welly type, which is really good as well. He comes with a few nice accessories, including this gun. And you know, it is a really, really good figure. It does fall down a little bit with some of the paint application, but it's still quite a quality figure, I think. And that's Toys Era, I believe. And he could get figure of the year. This thing ain't even getting figure of the year. I think this might be my turkey of the year. The Super Mad Toys Scream Face. It was just paint chips on the face mask, and bearing in mind there's only 2 colours in that face mask. How you can F that up, I don't know, but they did. And they gave you 2 stock hands along with 2 other hands. They just don't match. It's a real shame. They give you that voice talker, which is okay, but it's not great. I've replaced the boots. They came with these really crappy plastic boots. I've given him real fabric boots with some weathering on and mud, and I've weathered it a little bit so he looks a little bit haggard. He's worn it a few times, and you know, that's what happened in Scream. He was running around, he was getting the arse kicked out of him by everybody. Even though he managed to kill people, it wasn't without a fight, that's for sure. And people were kicking him in the face and kicking him in the nuts and all sorts. So I've done a bit of work to him to bring him up to a standard that I think is okay. But the basic stock body, oh yeah, I've replaced the body as well. The basic stock body, the stock shoes, the stock hands were all trash. So, you know what? He's going to get my turkey of the year. I might even do a separate video on that, but who knows. Then we come down to what I got here, which is the NECA real cloth Chucky. He's a little bit, as you can see, he's just above the knee height. I think he's nearly 1/6 scale, and that's fine enough for me. Still a very nice figure. Very good. NECA did some accuracy in the clothing. Some nice stitching in that clothing as well. I know, yeah, I rate this figure quite a lot, especially for the price. I think it was like £35 all in, which is a really, really great price. Real hair as well. See that? Real hair. This is the Our World Silence of the Lambs figure, which I did a video on, and I gushed about this one because it was really nice, especially for the price. It was such a nice figure for the price. It's got some really nice detail in there. And yeah, I was really surprised by this one. Whereas I was completely upset by this one, I was completely knocked back and surprised by the quality of this one. Simply because of the price, the quality comparison was just up there. And then we've got XD Toys Captain of the Octopus, which is not in any way a complete rip-off of the Hot Toys Davy Jones figure. That is, completely is. He's not going to go into figure of the year simply because he is such a KO, and you know, Hot Toys did it better. But my God, did they get it nearly, like, they're so accurate with it. There's just a couple of little flaws in it that you just wouldn't be able to tell, to be honest. But he is a really, really nice figure. And he goes in with my Jack Sparrow and he looks the business. It does work really well. If you can find someone who's getting rid of the XD Toys version and you can't get the Davy Jones one because it's expensive as hell, this is a really good alternative, and I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed. And then we come back and then we have the Doctor Strange figure. And you know what I'm going to say now. You know exactly what I'm going to say. In terms of 1/6 scale, this is my figure of the year. Why is that? Well, simply because it's just such a nice, detailed set. They really went to town on this one. You get 2 medallions and you get all these different auras he can hold. And he's got the book, which is actually, you can open up and has real pages inside. And he's got 2 of the sling rings. And it just comes with so much. The cape is so accurate. All the detail inside with the material. It's just really great articulation as well. And that head sculpt is bang on. The head sculpt is just superb. And I think, yeah, no, he's definitely getting figure of the year, Doctor Strange, for 1/6 scale. Simply because it is just so nice. Everything, the whole lot. Sometimes you do look and you wonder, with certain stands you get and certain head sculpts and certain like clothing qualities and things like that, I think there must be different teams inside Hot Toys. And I think this one was probably done by a lot of the same people that did the Sweeney Todd figure, which is really nice as well, despite what you think of the film. It's such a nice figure, and this one is top notch. There isn't much in this that I can find to blame, except for a little bit of lack of articulation in the torso and the ankles. But you know what? It works absolutely fine, and you can get him in so many different poses, and you can change him up almost weekly into a different pose every single time with all the hands you get. The detail on the hands as well, all the scarring on the hands. It's just... there are some figures you just look at and they just instantly impress you. And Doctor Strange is one of the ones that in years to come, if they don't make many more of these, this will be fought over easily, because it is just such a nice quality figure that they've made. Again, if you hear my puppy whining, it's because she can hear my voice, and she's not allowed upstairs while I do the videos, so she's not here. And I also got this guy, Shocking Guy, this year. But as he's sort of a reissue, I don't think it's fair to put him in here. Even though I did get him, and I've got to give a thumbs up to him. He's a nice figure. especially for the price. It's a good quality and you'll get no complaints from me. Also, I got this guy, the Rain Man head sculpt for Bill the Butcher. As you can see, everything else is done by me except for the head sculpt, but I've managed to put him together. Now he's not going to get figure of the year or anything like that. He is a custom and he wasn't actually made this year. Most of the stuff was done by me, and I love this. I love that head sculpt. I'm so glad I got that in my collection now. And I also got Elder Predator this year, the 2.0 Elder Predator, which I really like. Big fan of that one. It's much more accurate. I sold my old one off and got this one. Very chuffed. And here are my NECA turtles, which I got this year. Most of them were made this year except for Donatello. I think he came out in 2016. I think Raphael started the year off. Then Leo. And then Mikey. And the reason I haven't put them into figure of the year is simply because they're 1/4 scale. But my God, are they amazing. They are just... They'd easily, if these were 1/6 scale and they kept the same quality and detail that they did for these 1/4 scale, they'd be figure of the year, without a doubt. Figure of the year. But as they're 1/4 scale, I've decided to disband them out of this voting scheme just because of their scale. And Doctor Strange gets 2017's figure of the year. However, that's not to say there isn't a better figure that I got this year, which is Hulkbuster. I got Hulkbuster and I love him to bits. It's a real quality piece. But the reason I haven't put him into the voting for figure of the year is because, well, maybe I should, but I don't know, he's sort of a hybrid of figure and vehicle, isn't he? And you can kind of... He's really a premium, really high-end figure. I mean, we're talking near enough $1,000 in the end you'll be paying for him. And he is a really, really quality piece. But he is a one-off. And oh God, you know what? You've got me thinking now. Should I have put him in for figure of the year? Oh God, you monsters. Yeah. No, I'm not going to put him in. But he does get my... If we're going to go with all scale figures and, you know, all different items that I've got, maybe he would have got figure of the year. But there is some difficulty, simply because the articulation is very difficult. The space you need for him is a bit tough. The legs are very tough to articulate and don't articulate massively. And there are some movie inaccuracies that sort of bring it down a little bit. Hot Toys did an amazing job bringing this to life. And I genuinely think that if there was a smaller company who tried to take this on, they would have cancelled this within a month of announcing it, just because there is so much to do and it is way too logistically a nightmare to make. But Hot Toys stuck at it, delayed it, simply because they wanted to get it right. And there are certain things that sacrifices they had to make in order to get this to the right place that they needed to make it into a real figure. CGI can do whatever it wants, whereas if you want to make a physical manifestation of an item from certain films, you got to make sacrifices. And some of the sacrifices is the smaller waist and the middle torso. They've managed to integrate a place for you to put your Mark 43 figure. However, that does hinder the waist movement and things like that, so that you don't twist it and then break your 43 while he's inside. And that is a shame. But there is some really nice touches, like the articulated fingers, so you don't need to swap the hands over. It's really great. The There's just so many details in this. But I could make him... No. No, the reason I've chose Doctor Strange is because of movie accuracy, articulation. It's got everything above this. This has got detail and it's got quality, but it doesn't have the articulation. Doesn't come with a ton of accessories. And, you know, it's not as movie accurate as Doctor Strange. And that's why I'm going with Doctor Strange. Yep, that's it. Decided. That's fantastic. Happy days. There we go. We're going to go with this fella. Look at that. Doctor Strange 2017 figure of the year for me. I haven't been able to get tons and tons and tons of figures this year. I've been very careful with my buying options simply because I've had other things to buy. I bought a new PC, that's quite expensive. I got these guys, which really does take a chunk out of your budget. But I'm not going to vote them figure of the year just because they cost me the most. I think I have to go with everything that I've thought of. And yeah, Doctor Strange wins 2017 figure of the year. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe, yada yada yada. I hope you have a fantastic new year. Bye bye.